Just Some Podcast Media.
The thoughts and opinions on Just Some Podcast are of the hosts and guests and do not represent the views of organizations that employ them or they volunteer for. They are also not responsible for spontaneous black holes or nuclear wars that may occur. You have been warned.
Welcome, everybody, to another fun-filled, exciting, and 100th episode of Just Some Podcast. This is Tom.
And for the 100th time, this is Ben. Tom, how you doing, man?
Oh, I'm doing fucking great right now. Yeah, I did some pre-recording celebrating of the episode tonight and just said, what the hell? And for a special listener out there, Tiffany, I want you to know that every drink that I drank, oh God, this might go downhill. Every drink tonight was mixed with an ice cold regular Coca-Cola, Tiffany.
Not a sponsor.
It was crisp. It was clean. It was delicious. It was everything that I knew it could be. And Tiffany, I know deep down you just want to have a Coca-Cola too. So reach out and we will make sure you get one. I just want to make sure that message got out to her specifically, Ben.
Okay. Well, who would have thought, man, back in September of 2018, when we decided, hey, let's record ourselves talking, that we would be reaching a milestone episode of 100 episodes. Dude, it's really kind of crazy to think about.
It is not what I expected. I don't know what I expected. I didn't really have any expectations when we started, but I don't know that I ever really considered we would get to 100th episode.
So now back in the day, like for TV shows, like 100 episodes was syndication.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, Cirrus, we're at 100 now.
Yeah. Anytime you feel like picking up the check here, yeah, you just give old Tom and Ben a call. Looking back, and I know we want to get into the fun, so we'll do that. It's not just the volume, it's the distance, if that makes sense. Like, man, I remember how we started.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, me too.
To here. With a sponsor and
amazing guests.
Yes. Oh, some of the stuff we have heard.
Numerous countries.
All of them. The whole world listens to us, Ben. Somebody does.
7 continents. I'm telling you, man, it's nuts.
We have a freaking Nord takes us all over the world with them.
And we won an award. Holy shit.
I'm just far enough gone that I was like, I forgot about that. Like it was news. I was like, oh yeah. We did that.
So shout out to NP Student Magazine. Thanks for naming this podcast Best Podcast 2020. We appreciate that.
We super appreciate that. And not only are they listening to us, Ben, they're listening to me after I've been drinking.
That's right, because you're celebrating our 100th episode. But
I am no longer currently, so let's just see where this lands. That's my plan.
If you want to get on this train of Just Some Podcast, you can find us, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube, all at Just Some Podcast. Our website's www.justsomepodcast.com. Our email, admin@justsomepodcast.com. Also, don't forget to check out our sister shows over there. We got Buried Pleasure with Polly and Amazing. We got Nurse Papa with David. I actually had a drug rep come in the other day because, they all know about the podcast because I talk about stuff. And he's like, because they drive hours and hours and hours. He's like, man, I've been listening to your show. It's great. And I've been listening to that Buried Pleasures one. And he's like, I love that show. It's just great. So I shot Pollyanna a message and I was like, hey, you got a fan.
And couldn't be happier with the 2 shows. Again, it's just fantastic looking back and going, wow, we met some great people. And now we're doing podcast with them. It's still just surreal.
But Tom, if, say, I don't know, they wanted to help us out a little bit, what could they do?
Well, they could go to our website. They could scroll down to just about the bottom of the page where our Amazon affiliate link is. Click on that. Go to Amazon and put whatever you're looking for in your basket after you click the link. And it helps out the show. And we'd really appreciate it. Also, Ben, if they have some comments or criticism, good, bad, whatever, they just want to get a hold of us, let us know about the show, what we could do better, or topics. I'm always interested to hear people's opinions and thoughts. Just reach out to us at any of the social media that Ben just talked about.
Well, we got a lot of fun planned for this episode, but first, got to pay the bills. So, if your retirement planning needs to be more than, say, I don't know, scratcher tickets like our Minister of Education down in Mississippi, make sure you check out our sponsor. We're going to take a break, let you listen to them, and then we'll be back out on the other side.
Are you lacking financial direction or need a second opinion? If so, MyNP Advisor is a virtual financial planning practice that focuses on working with nurse practitioners, and they've developed a unique process that evaluates 5 key areas of your financial life.
They call it the Check My Vitals procedure, and for $500, it addresses some of your biggest financial concerns, like, am I saving enough to maintain my lifestyle in retirement? Is my family protected from a catastrophe? Do my investments match my tolerance for risk?
Listen, if you have more questions than answers, then you're probably due for a checkup. So, click on the link in the show notes to learn more about the 5 benefits of checking your vitals. And if you're ready to move forward, you can even schedule your appointment directly from that link.
Yeah, the link is down in the show notes.
It's a great place to start.
Securities and advisory services offered through Royal Alliance Associates Incorporated, member FINRC SPIC. Additional advisory services offered through Premier Financial Partners LLC, neither Royal Alliance, MyNP Advisor, Primary Financial Partners, Just Some Podcast, or any other guest or affiliate. Well, Tom, we thought for our 100th episode, we wanted to do something kind of special to celebrate. And, you know, we like having fun. I mean, hell, go back and listen to the alcohol episode.
I am right now.
Yeah. So I thought it would be fun to celebrate 100 episodes with 100 answers to would you rather questions. So there's 50 questions. Hopefully we get through them all depending on how Tom holds up. And, you know, there's 2 of us. So figured it was 100 questions to celebrate, or 100 answers to celebrate 100 episodes. Do want to give a shout out to where I found these from, which was inspirationfeed.com. And they had 120 would you rather questions. And so I picked 50 of the best ones that I thought would be kind of fun for us to cuss and discuss. So with that being said, Tom.
Yes, sir.
You ready to jump into this?
I am absolutely ready.
All right. Well, Tom, let's just start off here. So these, I will say, some of them are, they had a couple different categories. Some were funny, some were dirty, some were thinkers. So I kind of pulled some from a variety of them. It's a nice mix. So, Tom, would you rather always have an annoying song stuck in your head or always have an itch that you can't reach?
Annoying song. I already have that frequently, so stick with that.
But I mean, it would always be there.
Yeah, and I would literally lose my mind.
The song never ends.
Could not care.
You know, it would just be, or Barney. What about the Barney theme song?
I would versus an itch all day, every day, twice on Sunday.
Nah, I mean, I probably am inclined to agree with you.
I mean, just like it makes me want to melt my skin off thinking about an itch you can't get to. Like, I got to get my back scratched from now.
Oh, God. All right. Well, how about our next one here, Tom? Would you rather always have wet socks or always have a small rock in your shoe?
Rock.
See, that's where I'm at too, because I think the wet socks are just going to be, I mean, I've had wet socks before, and I don't know that there's a worse feeling on your feet than wet socks.
Yeah, it's one of my personal pet peeves, which children find out about when they spill stuff in my kitchen and don't clean it up all the way. I make sure everybody in the house knows how much I hate my wet socks. So, yeah, definitely, I'm taking the rock.
I mean, you know, eventually it'll get callous over, right?
Yeah, it'll just grow into my foot. So, but that wet sock, nope, never going away.
Would you rather bathe in the dishwater or wash dishes in your bathwater?
That's a toughie. I think I would rather wash my dishes in my bathwater. I got a weird thing about, I know it doesn't make a lot of sense because the thing is old food, but I don't want to be around it.
Okay.
And I don't know why. I think there would be less in my bathtub, but maybe I wouldn't have to touch it as much. I don't know. But yeah, I would rather take the bath or wash them in the bath.
I would think it's not even this the old food. I'm thinking like grease and everything like, and then you're going to bathe in that. Yeah, I think I'd rather wash the dishes in the bathwater and microwave all those before you use them. Just, you know,
re-sterilize them. You know what's dumb is in my head, again, forgive me, I am a little behind the 8 ball, but I guess in my head I imagined sitting in the tub with the dishes. So that's why I was so confused. I was like, what's the difference?
I mean, I guess that would be the same too. Yeah, just...
but then I was like, oh, Ben is on top of it. He meant outside of the tub to wash the dishes. Yeah. Okay. But I stand by my answer, sir.
Would you rather be 3 feet tall or 8 feet tall?
8.
No, I'm going to go 3.
let's face it, you're an instant number one draft pick. Right. And I have seen some of the locker rooms for Division I college and professional basketball players, and they can accommodate me with tall sinks and toilets. So there you go. I mean, if you're 3 foot, you're in a world of hurt if you're around me at 8 foot tall, because I'm going to step on you. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. Okay. The NBA and the colleges may make accommodations for someone who's 8 feet tall. But everywhere else is not. Vehicles, any restaurant you go into, airplanes.
You make it sound like at 3 foot tall, you're going to be driving a vehicle. You ain't driving no vehicle.
I'll sit on a damn phone book.
I knew you were going to say that. Do they even make phone books anymore? I'm just saying, you're 3 foot tall. I just can't imagine. Of course, I can't imagine being 8 foot tall either, but it just seems
like an easier stretch to go 8 than 3.
Maybe it's because you're quite a bit taller than me that we have these point of views.
Oh, look at you.
Yeah. Philosophizing. Watch out.
All right. This one's kind of gross. Would you rather clean a toilet with your toothbrush or a bathroom floor with your tongue?
Okay. Well, the toothbrush.
So we can see each other on camera, and there's a complete vapor lock right now. You can see just the wheels just spinning.
They just stopped because I was like, what? Obviously, the toothbrush, because either A, if I have to use it, I can sterilize it, or B, because I'm assuming that the ploy is you can't just throw it away.
Right, yeah.
So if I'm going to have to use it, I can sterilize it. If you're cleaning a floor, though my kitchen floor is pretty clean, but if I was going to have to clear it, that's direct entry. There's no sanitizing that.
True. That's a valid point. Yeah, I'm probably going to be, I'm going to be inclined to agree with you.
Well, I would too.
How clean the floor is, you're still pathogens. And I mean, not to say there's not pathogens in the toilet, but still. All right. Would you rather have the police hunting you down for a crime you didn't commit or a serial killer actually hunting you?
Oh, the serial killer.
So why on the serial killer?
Because if you're being chased for a crime you didn't commit, I mean, there's a certain extra level of injustice. So now I have to fight for my life for something. I don't know. That just seems terrible. A serial killer coming after me, that feels like, okay, I'm supposed to fight him back. It makes me feel like there's a chance of survival beyond the cops are going to catch you eventually.
Well, the serial killer may catch you eventually.
Yeah, but then I plan on whooping his ass. All right. So that's what I'm saying. You're under the assumption that if I come into contact with the serial killer, I'm just going to lay there and scream and let him stab me, because that's not happening.
That's what happens in the Friday the 13th movies, sir.
But that's what I'm saying is I know that's what you're picturing, but I don't wear high heels and I'm not lost in the woods. So,
and you're not doing a gratuitous tit shot. So
watch out for those movies.
But see, on the flip side, though, you can go all Harrison Ford and The Fugitive, and all this says is, they're going to hunt you down for a crime you didn't commit. To me, I can interpret that as you're going to be inconvenienced, but if you didn't commit it, hopefully the justice system works the way that it's supposed to, and you would be acquitted of said charges. Hopefully.
I will take my chances with that serial killer any day of the week than the justice system. Because let's say all the wheels turn as they're supposed to, as fast as possible for something bad enough that you're being in a manhunt, you're losing 5 to 10 years of your life automatically, like right off the top.
I agree.
Yeah. So even if you win, you lost 5 to 10 years of your life.
But if you get caught by a serial killer and you don't put up good enough of a fight, you've lost more than just 5 or 10 years.
I'll take that chance. All
right.
I've seen Dexter. That dude ain't going no. I'll come for him. Let's go.
Would you rather have skin that changes colors based on your emotions or tattoos that appear all over your body depicting what you did yesterday?
Colors. The answer is not the same as what you're thinking. I don't care. In my head, I was thinking, I don't know anybody that can't tell exactly what I'm thinking about my facial expressions. What the fuck does it matter if I'm purple?
Or red. That's most of the time that you'd be red. I mean, let's be honest.
Red, purple, green, blue. I was like thinking in my head, I was like, what? Either my mouth or my eyebrows say it. It doesn't make a difference to me. I already deal with that.
See, in my head, I'm like, okay, are the tattoos like words? Or is it like a pictorial description like Moana where it's like...
See, that's what I was imagining in my head. What's the dude's name? Maui.
Like the pictorial description?
Yeah. Because, if I finally get 5 minutes alone with the better half and there's our kids around, I don't want to explain that tattoo the next day. So that is a valid reason to not want the tattoo.
I went to work. I watched YouTube. I went to sleep. I mean, it's going to be some pretty boring ass tattoos most days.
Yeah, exactly. The worst one that you're going to see is what happens if we went to Taco Tuesday. Like, you don't want to see the tattoo in the bathroom after that. So,
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's what I'm saying is that, yeah, colors.
I don't know. I think I got a pretty good poker face. I'd probably take the tattoos, personally.
All right, I got one for you.
Okay.
Would you rather be blind or deaf?
Oh, that's tough. Blind. Just because I feel like I have such a connection with music and the emotional impact behind it that I don't know that I would not want to not hear that. I don't know. That's a hard question, dude.
Yeah, because you know what? Here's the worst part. In about 4 hours, you're going to get up to go pee, and some party is going to be like, if I was blind, though, I wouldn't have to worry because it's always dark, so I wouldn't have to care when I pee. Like, some weird thought's going to hit your head. You just watch. I would take the opposite. And I went back and forth. Weirdly enough, one of my first thoughts, I shouldn't say weirdly, we did a whole episode on music, was some of the same, like my favorite band's Tool. When they come out with their new CD, you're not going to know, or any music. Like somebody's like, this is the best song I've ever heard. I won't be able to experience the same way they will. However, visual is more important to me than sound. And again, this is purely, you can listen to a football game, or would you rather watch it? I love listening to announcers. Like if I'm in a car, I love listening to football games. But if I'm in my house, I'm not turning on the radio, bro.
Yeah, but your answer just basically nullified our fucking podcast. So great job.
Do what? Okay, there are ways for them to be able to listen to our podcast. And not only that, I'd have little, the things that annoy you when they're on the television.
Closed caption?
Yeah. Okay, but I don't need it now. It's annoying when I can listen to him talk. But if you were like watching it, you'd be like, God damn, But we could do the podcast that way. I'll type it out, sound like Stephen Hawking. It'd be amazing.
You wouldn't sound like anything. That's the thing.
If I talk and I'm deaf, does it make a noise?
Yes. Would you rather fart every time you meet someone new or burp every time you kiss someone?
Burp. That's her problem. So... Yeah, that was easy. So I'll even eat a Reuben sandwich before I go to kiss her. I don't care.
My thought process behind this one, obviously I'm only kissing one person, but I'm probably kissing her far fewer than I'm meeting new people. So, could you imagine a conference? Holy shit.
Yeah, I was just thinking, I was like, I only got to worry about one problem carrying.
I guess my children, but I
don't give a crap if I kiss my son and he's like, did you just burp? I'm like, shut up. You're lucky you got that. Ask your mom what happens when I go out to eat. Yeah. Then I got to come home and try and give her a smooch. And she's like, oh my God. Yeah.
Would you rather vomit on your hero or have your hero vomit on you?
Hero vomit on me.
Why?
Because I'm the type of person that I'm worried about what I do. Like, I've had people vomit on me, for work purposes.
I get that.
Yeah, so I'm like, the thought of that, the life damage from me vomiting on my hero, nah, I'll take the puke.
I would agree with you. While it may be mortifying for them, it's less mortifying for you.
Yeah, and I don't care. I'll be like, bro, I got a wash machine, clothes clean, no big deal.
But it'll be at some press conference or something, and then it'll be like when like George Bush threw up on the Japanese Prime Minister. Yeah.
Well, and I was just thinking, now that you said that, they win their Oscar, I'll be in the front row. They'll be like, and Tom was always there to support me. I couldn't have made this movie without his type of leadership and guidance and kindness and mercy. And I'm like, that's what I'm known for.
And then he would throw up on you.
I'm the most fucking humble you've ever met. So that's what I would tell him. So yeah, puke.
All right. Well, here's another sock question for you, Tom. Would you rather wear the same socks for a month or the same underwear for a week?
Oh, that's a toughie. That is a toughie. I would say the underwear.
That's probably where I'm at too.
It's only a week. No one else is putting their face in my underwear, so I don't care about that. But I would have to deal with a month of socks. Ugh. It makes my feet feel weird just thinking about that.
Would you rather be well endowed but be poor in bed, or be less than average endowed but be a stallion in bed?
C, I'm both, so I don't have to answer this question. Well, I don't know how to answer either one.
Why?
Well, Ben, I've never had a complaint about either. So I would say if I have to pick,
I'm going less than average, but a stallion in bed because at least, goes back to the whole, motion of the ocean. It's not the size of the ship, it's most in the ocean, but it may take a long time to get to England in a rowboat. But I'm still going to get there.
So we're going to have to go further into the fairy tale land because I can only think about this. I'm thinking in my head, if I was single, I would pick option A. The reason being is because the milkshake is going to bring the girls to the yard. Okay. And then after I do that and I'm a callous, shallow single guy, then I don't care. One time, paper plate them. There you go. But when you're married and that person, for reasons beyond my comprehension, is willing to marry me, then I feel like, hey, I think we both need to enjoy this alone time. So, and I'm sure my next wife will love it. So that's what, it's important to think ahead.
Yeah, stop it. I don't think you really answered the question, though.
I just did. I said right now, this minute, I would pick B.
Okay.
But if I was single, I would go with A.
Okay. All right.
See, you're not listening. I'm talking.
All right. During sex.
Oh, Jesus.
Would you rather fart or burp?
Burp.
I don't know. Farts are funny.
Perhaps you and I have obviously had vastly different experiences because I think if it just was one time ever, I think we would find it funny. But in my head, I was thinking so this is going to randomly happen. I got a feeling starting time number 2, it's not going to be as pleasant.
Going to be less funny?
Yeah. And again, like I said, if it happened one time, it would be a funny story. Like we were having sex and Tom let one rip or she let one rip. That's weird. But, either way, it would be like, we had to stop. We laughed and then, things happened. We got back to work. But if it's every time,
all 2 times a year? I mean,
did you have 2 birthdays? What happened? So I think a burp, I'm like, you could turn her head, eat a breath mint, chew some Trident, whatever. So not worried about that.
Would you rather say your ex's name during sex?
What the fuck is wrong with you?
Or your partner's best friend's name?
Wow. Wow. Jeezy Pete.
I have an easy answer for this one.
All right, you go first then.
X. 100%. 1,000 times over. Because I can explain that one.
Okay. Go ahead.
No, I'm just saying, I can be like, I fucked up. I said the name. I'm sorry. But if you're saying her friend's name, like her best friend's name, why?
Because.
No, there's no because. That's the point.
I have a plan. I was thinking about this, and after I say it, and clearly there's going to be a stoppage in motion for a minute.
Clearly.
And she is getting angry. I'm going to be like, I'm sorry. In my head, I was just thinking how hot it would be if me, you, and her all got together and had a great time. And to me, it'd be like, it was a passion of the moment. Like I wasn't even really thinking about her. I was just thinking how great that would be. Sell it as in you still found her intimately. I mean, I guess you could try that with the ex-girlfriend thing. I'm not saying you couldn't, but I think you're looking at a much rougher road than if you just say, hey, you enjoy hanging out with her. I enjoy hanging out with her. We all get along. It just made sense. But if you say your ex, bro.
I don't know. I mean, obviously they're both bad. That's the point of the question. And I guess it would probably depend on the length of time also. Like, if it was your first time sleeping with someone and you said your ex's name, you're probably going to get a pass.
Man, who are you dating?
Not a pass. It may not be as big of a deal. Now, if you're married for 20 years and at the end of that 20 years, you say your ex's name, you're probably up shit creek.
Yeah, I don't think you're in any creek if you say it the first time.
I think it's easily explainable closer to the beginning of the relationship. She's not going to like you saying her best friend's name either.
I told you I could sell that.
You think?
What I'm saying is I think the option of selling the best friend is gotta be better than going backwards and trying to sell the ex.
I think you should try it and report back to us next week on...
Done.
I'm kidding. Kidding. Don't do that.
You are responsible for some of the legal fees that will shortly be coming.
Bill the podcast. So obviously we're into the dirty ones now, if you have not picked up on that.
I noticed.
Would you rather wake up naked in a forest 5 miles from home or in your underwear at work?
Huh.
I have an easy answer for this one. For me.
I already know yours. I'd say underwear at work.
Okay.
Only reason why is because there's medical gowns. So that's easy fix number 1. Number 2 is I think if somebody said, what are you doing? I'd be like, what are you doing? Try and make them feel bad about it and then walk off. And then nobody would be like, it's just Tom. It'll get closed. It'll get closed tomorrow. You wake up naked 5 miles from your house. First of all, it's in the 20s here currently. That's a big problem. 2, I can't imagine walking 5 miles. I've done it before. It wasn't my favorite experience in my life. So I'm not going to be wanting to do it naked in 20-degree weather. Also, there are people in the 5 mile radius around my house. And I'm pretty sure being arrested for, indecency isn't going to make that day any better.
Well, and I'm sure the tie into this one is, would you rather be naked and alone or in your underwear in front of everybody? I get that.
Been in my underwear, done it, no big deal.
I live in very close proximity to work, so cool. Underwear, and then I'll just walk home.
That's why I was laughing. That's cheating for you, you jerk.
All right, 2 more dirty ones. And
I don't care.
Would you rather walk in on your parents or have them walk in on
me?
Yeah, 100%. I mean, I'm 42 years old, so I'd be like, yeah, you guys need to get out of here.
Yeah, exactly. That's an image bleach won't get out. Just throwing that out there. You can't wash your eyes with enough bleach. Get that?
And they probably feel the same way walking in on you, but again, that's their problem.
Yes. Oh.
Last naughty question. Would you rather accidentally send a inappropriate picture to your dad or to your boss?
I would say my dad, because I think all I would get from his was a text message back like, what the hell is wrong with you? And this had better be meant for your wife. Those are probably the 2 things that he would, and then drop it. I don't even know if he'd.
Yeah.
Or maybe
it would never be spoken of again. I mean,
exactly. We don't need to talk about this. As long as you just give me the right information, the right answers to that question, I'm not going to talk to you again. Okay. I think the boss thing would be embarrassing because obviously, and I work for a female. There's also that hi, I don't know. Now my boss is pretty cool. My office manager is pretty cool.
All right up until the sexual harassment lawsuit. Yeah.
Yeah. But that's what I was going to say. I think she would be like, I don't know what happened, but what the hell? And I think she would drop it knowing her, but the risk involved.
The inherent risk. Yeah.
Yeah. And no, like I said, besides dad just yelling at me for a minute and then never talking to me about it again, that's okay.
I agree with you 100%. I mean, the much less risk in sending it to your parent accidentally and just be like, oh, hey, sorry about that. Delete that and move on.
You saw it once when you changed my diapers. Don't be acting like that.
Would you rather be a genius that everyone thinks is an idiot or an idiot everyone thinks is a genius?
I'd rather be the idiot that everybody thinks is a genius.
Why?
Because if nothing has been proven in the last few years that all you need is popularity to get away or do anything you want, then I don't know what else can prove it. Because I clearly should have won the Nobel Peace Prize by now. They still haven't called. So that's not getting me anywhere. So why not be popular and get everything you want?
Okay, but I'm going to speculate that someone like, say, Elon Musk, who I think we would both agree is a genius. When he wanted to come up with Tesla and he wanted to come up with SpaceX, people probably thought that he was an idiot. It would never happen.
Fair.
And it was proven wrong.
But he's a 1 in a billion. I can get on Instagram right now and find you 1,000 people in the next hour that are probably complete sack of hammers morons.
But everyone doesn't think they're a genius.
They have 1.5 million followers and everybody dotes on their words. No, I'll take that. I'll take that. I'll take that power.
I'm probably going to go the genius side of it personally.
Okay, so I was thinking of a very similar question back to you, Ben.
Okay.
And I'm going to try to word it because, like I said, I just now kind of formulated it while we were thinking. And as we've proven so far, slow train of thought so far. But would you rather see the Cowboys never win the Super Bowl, but each year, they go to it, they win every game, but they just can't win the big one? But you don't know that. Every year, you don't know the outcome. It could be that next year, right? Or would you rather watch them win it 2 times in a row, but know that they were likely never going to win it again, and the 2 times they were found to be cheating?
Oh, so this is like the 90s, is what you're saying.
So if you could go back in time, I'm just saying, so you could get what you want, but you may never get it again, and it's tainted, or always have the hope and believe the best.
Probably the hope. I've done it for 20 years now. I think you always want that hope. And if anything, like the Houston Astros cheating scandal that had come out and some things like that, you don't want it tainted. I mean, I guess even if you never win the big one, you want to know that you did it fairly. And that's how I feel. What about you? Obviously, it wouldn't be the Cowboys. It would be, Ohio State. There you go.
Oh, man. I don't think I could sit there and enjoy it knowing that there was the asterisk. Like there was the black mark. We didn't deserve it.
But as long as they beat Michigan every year, it'd be all right.
Well, that's given. But, I mean, those people, if there's a state that needs to be walled off and turned into a prison, it's Michigan. So,
hate all our Michigan listeners.
You know what? If you are in Michigan, drive north till you hit water. All right. I don't want to be anywhere near you.
Stop it. Would you rather be able to read minds or predict the future?
That is a good one. Predict the future. Well, if I'm predicting the future, I kind of already know what you're thinking. Like if you're thinking about going to get a cheeseburger, I'm like, hey, get me a cheeseburger while you're in there. I already figured out what you were thinking. Also, I can use that to make money. I already know what's going to happen, so I can just make the direct route. Human beings are variables. So even if I know what you're thinking right now, that doesn't mean tomorrow you're going to continue. So future. Like all week long, you're like, I'm going to go put $1 million under my mattress and nobody will ever know. And then you don't do it. You're like, I decided to change my mind. Well, now I can't predict that. But if I go, I know exactly where the money is going to be on Tuesday. I got $1 million.
Would you rather be able to stop time at will or age at half the normal human rate?
Time at will.
Me too.
There are some pretty cool things that would, if I knew, like, let's say most people live to 75, to know you're going to get to 150, that's a pretty cool thought. I mean, I guess there's always car wrecks or stuff.
Yes and no.
Well, no, I get what you're saying. I guess in my head, I'm just assuming my quality of life will continue for a much longer period of time. So,
and it would, but everyone around you is going to die.
Yeah, I still would take time.
I mean, I guess you get younger friends. I mean,
sucks to you, Ben. Ben 2.0 is around the corner. But no, I would pick time for sure. I'm just saying I could see the appeal of half speed.
I can see the appeal, but I'll take the Zach Morris effect anytime.
Yes. Though the Zach Morris's trash channel on YouTube is, yes. And I don't know if they did it or I think it was Funny or Die did theirs, but whoever did it, it's fantastic.
Would you rather be able to travel everywhere for free or eat everywhere for free?
Travel.
I eat more than I travel.
Fair. See, again, I go to this mythical place where I have the ability to use this said travel. You know what? I changed my mind. I do want to eat. Yeah, fuck travel. I'll go to Italy someday, all right? But you know where I go?
And I'll have more money to go because I'm not paying for all of it.
Yeah, I'll say, I can go to Italy right now, yo, and just walk into an Olive Garden. There it is. I love it.
Would you rather be an unknown superhero or an infamous villain?
Ooh. I want to go with infamous villain.
I kind of suspected you would.
I was thinking Batman, all right? I love Batman, but I was like, he didn't say I get to be a billionaire. So I got to figure out how to be Batman on my salary. That ain't happening. So, yeah, villain.
And you'd be infamous. I mean, people would fear you and Batman would chase you.
He would never catch me, though.
No, yeah, him or the serial killer, apparently.
I'm not worried about the serial killer. I'm telling you, not at all.
Would you rather be famous or rich?
You didn't answer, by the way.
Oh, superhero.
I know. I figured that.
Yeah, I mean, that's just my personality, unfortunately. But I also, we, outside of the podcast, I mean, my wife and I make donations and stuff like that just to try to help out the community. And it's much easier when it's like I don't need the spectacle of it. So I'd be fine with that.
Well, that is what's about to lead me into the next thing. I actually would like to be rich. First of all, you can go either way. Rich can make you famous, and famous people can get rich. But yeah, like you, I think there'd be times where I'm like, hey, I just want to go to the Olive Garden, endless pasta, and I don't want to have to deal with a bunch of people. I think that would be one of the things. Also, when you're rich, like famous people still worry about stuff. Like they got to get jobs and all that. I mean, fame does not guarantee you wealth. So I think I'm old enough now at this point in my life. I'm like, I don't really care how I got the money. I just want to know, like, I can have a bag of Doritos whenever I want, and I can afford the STEMI when it hits. So
I would agree, Rich. for the donation side of things.
I would
but also,
totally donate, sort of, probably.
I've been watching The Last Dance, which I'm sure you've already watched it.
I'm only on like episode 3.
Okay, well, I'm on like episode 6 or 7, and there's a part where Michael Jordan is sitting in a hotel room, and it's kind of the peak of his fame. And he talks about how he cannot leave that hotel room and how there are times he just wants to leave that hotel room. I think there's so many famous people who wish to be normal and, like you said, be able to go to Olive Garden. Just to see the look on his face, like, fame isn't all it's cracked up to be.
There are some very wealthy people in the world. Like, there are people, I can't think of his name. He's in India, and he is a billionaire. He is building the world's largest house. It's basically a hotel. And that's what I'm saying. I can't even think of his name. But he clearly doesn't have a thing to worry about in the world. But ask Mike Tyson what it was like to be famous but poor.
Yeah.
So, nah. I'll take security and a Rolls-Royce Phantom and doing whatever I want over you saw me driving on YouTube, but it's not mine. Like, nah. I'll take the money.
Would you rather be forced to live the same day over and over again for a full year or take 3 years off the end of your life?
Well, I've seen Groundhog Day, so I feel like I have an understanding.
Right? That's kind of where it's like, it's the Groundhog Day.
Take 3 years off? Like,
so you die 3 years sooner than you normally would. Like,
yeah. So, but the 1 year, does that count against me? Then the 1 year.
So you live the same day over and over for a year?
Do I get to pick the day?
That's what I was going to say. I was like, do you get to pick the day? Because I mean, that's pretty awesome days.
I'm going to be ordering a lot of pizza and chicken wings. And guess what? Every day, pizza and chicken wings. This is amazing.
Yeah, unfortunately, it'd probably be like a work day where you're like, you're forced to
every Tuesday,
like repeat that. And it's like 72 patients on your schedule. And that would be the day that the universe would ultimately pick for you, I think.
Probably. So even assuming though the worst, I'll take the 1 day.
I probably would too.
Yeah. I mean, but you're also way happy-go-lucky versus I'm not. So I think you would handle the 1 year better. All right. I got one for you. Would you rather have an arm amputated or a leg?
Leg.
Yeah, me too.
I'm sitting there thinking, they, have prosthetics that do amazing things. A leg's pretty simple in function, whereas an arm is not. There's lots of articulation with the fingers and such that, I don't care if I can wiggle my toes on my amputated leg or not. The leg itself in function is very simple. So
yeah, I was thinking crutches. Yeah, there's other methods of ambulation, the prosthetics. So yeah, I may lose a leg.
Besides, my lucky would, take my jerk off hand and then
I got to learn how to do it left-handed. Oh my God.
Like a whole new person. I don't even know where that came from. That was probably should not leave it in there. Okay, would you rather be funny but really stupid or boring but really smart?
It's a struggle for me every day, Ben. I've done the funny but stupid thing, so I guess I want to try the smart but boring thing.
Hell, I think I'm living boring but really smart right now. To be honest, we're healthcare providers. I think there's obviously, at least you hope there's some semblance of intelligence that is associated with that. But 95% of the time, it's pretty boring. Yeah, I'm okay with it. I know what your answer to this one's going to be, but I want to see your reaction anyway. Would you rather be stuck in a phone booth? You remember those?
I do.
With 10 snakes or 10 tarantulas?
10 snakes. Oh my God.
I knew that. Yeah.
Neither one of those are very appealing, but spiders are just the devil's handiwork. So they're.
I knew you were going there. I knew I was asking this question. I'm like, oh, it's snakes.
I know, but it actually made me shudder for a minute because when you said snakes, I don't know why I didn't think of spiders, but I was thinking, man, I don't know, but I don't want to be in here with snakes. And then you literally said spiders.
You're like, okay, maybe I do. I'll probably take the 10 tarantulas just because they take up less room.
Ugh, no. Ugh.
Would you rather be stuck on an island for all of eternity, completely by yourself, or with someone you hate the most?
Ooh, that is a good one. I'm going to say hate the most.
Okay, why?
Because even if I hate you, I can still value your opinion. And I can still concede that there are times when I'm talking to someone else like, hey, I didn't think of that. That's a really good point. And even if I don't like you, I can still have a conversation and discuss that stuff. And I think as human beings, we're social animals. I think isolation is going to be not sustainable. Yeah. I honestly do not know that you can make it forever.
I think you swayed me. I was thinking my own but you made some convincing arguments, and I'm going to agree with you.
There are plenty of people I hate, and I have still been able to have conversations with them. And when they were right, I said, they're right. That's just how it is. But I think alone is great. And as I get older, actually tend to, stay by myself more often. And I think for a short period of time, no problem. If you would have said like 2 years, I'm like, hands down, 2 years, no problem.
But eternity is a long time.
I honestly would not make eternity. Let's just put it that way. I think eventually mental breakdown would come in, and yeah, just not. So hate.
Would you rather be unable to close any door once it's open, or be unable to open any door once it's closed?
I'll take the open door.
That's kind of where I'm at, I think. Like,
I don't need privacy that much.
Oh, wait. Car door. Ooh.
I'll get a Jeep. I'll pull a speed. I'll drive backwards with the door open, rip that son of a bitch right off, and there you go. I got a Tommy Boy car. Yeah. Get in every day like I'm Dale Earnhardt in a NASCAR, just jump through the window. See? I got plans.
Would you rather give up sex or give up food?
I gave up sex the day I said yes. So
stop it.
So, yeah, I ain't giving up food, bro. Mm-mm.
Yeah, but if you never had sex from this point on.
But I could have all the fucking pizza I want. Pizza ain't never left me. Mm-mm. Yeah, there you go.
As hard as it would be to admit, I'd probably say sex because I can live without sex. I can't very well live without food. At least not for very long. And so for that several weeks that I'm still alive giving up food, I guess the sex better be pretty damn amazing.
And who was going to want to be with emaciated Tom? They're going to be like, ugh, you look like Gollum from Lord of the Rings, Smeagol. Get the fuck out of here. I ain't hooking up with this dude.
Would you rather date someone with bad breath or bad manners?
Oh, see, in my head, I'm just thinking at dinner. You be just total. Yeah, bad breath. Because here's the thing. Okay, you're talking physical, intimate contact. If I'm outside of that, there's still a good person. I can get her another lazy boy. Like she can sit in her own lazy boy a social distance away from me. I don't got to deal with that. All right. But if she's an asshole, it doesn't matter where she's at. She's affecting me by being an asshole.
But see, I think if I'm out with someone who has bad manners, I can at least explain that and just tip well, be like, hey, sorry,
or until she does it to you.
Well, it doesn't specify. But the bad breath is going to be for you and everyone else around you. Like you introduce her to your parents and they're going to be like, oh my,
nah, I'm fine.
No.
I'm good.
Some mouthwash ain't going to clear that up.
But maybe those Olympic swimming nose plugs or something. I don't know. But yeah, I could deal with the bad breath more than I could them being a jerk.
So this one was kind of similar to one we had earlier, but a little bit different. Would you rather have a pause or a rewind button in your life?
Woo. Rewind.
That's kind of what I'm thinking.
You have versatility with the rewind. Like, let's say I wanted to pause this minute. I'm like, oh, I need to do this. I just go back. And then, oh, I didn't get it just right. Go back again. Like, but if it's pause, that's handy. If the fuck up's already happened, you can't correct it.
Right. But if you rewind it, you can alter that.
But that's the thing, though. You have to be judicious. You can't be changing everything. You can't be going like, I'm going to go back to third grade. And this one time I knew the answer was A, but I put B. Don't do something like that because that's how you create paradoxes. And no.
Butterfly effect. Yes.
So that's what I'm saying is this is more of a, I'm going to eat Mexican food tomorrow. I don't want to get Taco Bell tonight. Go back. There you go. Change it. Don't get Taco Bell. That's amazing. Like, don't do anything big. Don't plan big stuff.
And now some paradox is like there's Taco Bell no longer is.
Yeah, you go back 4 years ago and you decide to date the girl that you didn't ask to prom or something, whatever that time would, that'd be a lot more than 4 years ago for me, but a long time ago. Like you go back a significant distance, you're going to cause some ripple effects.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I wouldn't want to use it for anything vast.
Well, I'm saying though, like for the people listening, when they think about this, don't get the rewind button so you can go back to the one time you were 6 and you let the cat out and she got ran over. Like, because let me tell you, you got to relive all that time. Okay, so that's option A, right? You don't want to restart from 6.
And it's going to be a different timeline now.
Yeah, you're going to create a bunch of different problems.
If you don't go back and meet your ex, okay, great. You don't meet that ex, but now you may not meet you say, yeah, it's a whole fucked up deal you got to keep thinking about. Would you rather have no sense of smell or no sense of taste?
No sense of smell. There's a lot of things I don't want to smell anyways, so there you go.
I would agree. Smell. Would you rather have one wish granted today or 10 wishes granted 20 years from now?
One wish today. I'd be like, I want to go 20 years in the future after I invent a time machine. Yeah, I want a time machine. So, or do the classic, I want to wish for 100 more wishes. Yeah.
Probably can't do that either. Probably one wish.
I think one wish. Like 20 years, I'm going to be so old. The only thing I could do is waste one of them to go back in time. And like we just talked about, that's not a great idea over 20 years.
Yes,
so,
yeah, right.
One wish now.
Would you rather have the face of an 80-year-old but the body of a 20-year-old, or the body of an 80-year-old but the face of a 20-year-old?
Weirdly enough, I have the face of a potato and the body of a sea lion. So I don't really know which one of those I would pick. I think, is everything else equal? Like nothing else in my life changes? Face of a 20-year-old.
Yeah.
Ain't nobody seeing me with my shirt off anyways.
See, that's where I'm at. Like everything's face-based. Like, yeah.
Yeah.
Would you rather have universal respect or unlimited power?
Unlimited power. I don't need respect if I have unlimited power. So there you go. Now, he likes me a lot. Yeah, that's great. But there's a reason the Kims have been in power in North Korea for a while. Just saying. So just throwing things out there. These are facts.
I'm probably leaning toward the power.
And I can get shit done. I don't care if you like it. It needs to be done.
Well, it doesn't say you're well liked. It says you're respected.
No, I'm talking about power. I want the power. I don't care. I have an unlimited power. I don't care if you like it. It's still the right thing to do. I'm going to make stuff happen.
Would you rather know how you die or know when you die?
Mother of fucking pearl. How? How? Because if you only know a time, then all you're going to do is focus on the things that may lead to it. Like you're going to like, I'm not going to go outside tomorrow, but staying inside may be what kills you. Like, so.
See, you would do the same way with how, though.
You could.
Let's say it's a car wreck. So you know that. Are you just never going to drive again?
Fair enough. Maybe I'm changing my answer.
I think I'm when.
Know how much time to enjoy. You know what? You're right. You're right.
Yeah.
I made a mistake. I would rather know when. No, thinking about it, I was like, you know what? He's right. I'd rather know when, because then you can just enjoy yourself. You can just enjoy yourself. And if you're like, tomorrow I'm going to go skydiving. Yeah. If tomorrow I'm going to go skydiving, if that's how I go, then that's how I go. But I'm not going to not do anything even up to that minute. Because like I said, I'd hate for me to go, I'm going to spend my life inside my house afraid. And then that's what kills you. Like, no, go out and enjoy it. It doesn't matter if you're out driving, you get into a car wreck, because if you would have stayed home, you would have died of a heart attack. It doesn't matter. But if you know how, you're right. You might just obsess yourself into that situation.
I think you would. Would you rather live in a home with no electricity or a home with no running water?
Ooh. No running water. You can't do anything about the internet. I go on Amazon, order water. So there you go.
Shit in a bucket.
Yeah. I mean, I'm like, get a spigot, outside. I don't know. But yeah, you need electricity. Because it gets hot and I need air conditioning. All right. So don't care. I'll stink, but I ain't going to be suffering. I don't care how clean I am if I'm inside in a 95-degree house. No, like that ain't happening.
Would you rather live in a house haunted by friendly ghosts or be a ghost that spends eternity reliving your average day after you die?
Well, the first one.
Yeah, that's where I'm already reliving average days daily. So, and I don't want to really do that for eternity. Cool. I'll hang out with some friendly ghost. Like, hey, Bob, how's it going?
Can you put the pizza seasoning on the popcorn this time?
Right, exactly.
We got this. I'm like, I seen Poltergeist. I know you can move stuff. Don't act like you can't pick it up.
Would you rather lose your sight or your memory?
And it's going to be a really shallow answer. So,
I've already answered this one with the sight, like blind or deaf. So,
you might have me again. I might say sight. Yeah, let's go with sight.
I've seen enough Alzheimer's people.
Well, that's what I was going to say is I'm not going to know. But at the same time, I think you're right. I think I would rather have my memory and be able to talk to you than just not see you. So, yeah, I'd change my mind again. Let's go to that. That's twice.
Would you rather sell all of your possessions or sell one of your organs?
I get to pick the organ?
Well, I mean, it's not going to be like a spleen. I mean, that's, let's say a kidney.
No, that's not what you said.
Well, it doesn't say you get to pick an organ. It just says, would you rather sell all your possessions or sell one of your organs?
Okay, so you're saying we're talking something vital. Give me a ruling, Ben.
I mean, do you have many organs that are not vital?
I got a couple I could probably live without. So,
The appendix doesn't count.
that's what, okay, so that's where we were starting. All right. You're saying a kidney. Yeah, possessions. Get rid of those. I need kidneys.
I don't know. I can live with one kidney.
Maybe.
Well, I mean, people do it all the time. Hell, people are born with solitary kidneys. So,
Yeah, but I guess I don't know of any possession in my house that, like, if my house burnt down tomorrow, as long as my family, my kid, my wife, everybody was safe, I don't think it would matter to me that I didn't have a phone. You know, I'm like, I can get a new phone. You know what I can't get?
a new kidney.
You know? Yeah, exactly.
I think that's going to be interesting. We're getting down to the end here. Would you rather spend a year at war or a year in prison?
I'm going to go with war.
I don't know what I would go with yet, because both are life-changing. You're not going to be the same person as you were at the beginning. Both are going to have a risk for like PTSD and mental problems and things of that nature. Obviously, neither one of them is great.
Unlike some of the other ones, this one isn't flippant. I'm not saying war like I'm invincible or I wouldn't die or I'm too tough, but I've been through some trying times in my life, and I think being in combat would be easier in the long run than being stuck in prison for a year. I'm willing to take the risk of combat over the known confinement and unknown risk of prison. If you want to get clinical, like you had to write it down on paper, that's what I guess I'd say. But
And I think for me, coming from, obviously we all come, not we all, you and I both come from military families. There's a sacrifice. There's some sacrifices either way, but I think at least with war, there's honor, whereas with prison, there may not be. Like, if you go to war, your family is going to be proud of you. If you go to prison, probably not going to be as proud.
fair. And we know some guys that have been to prison that are good guys, but I'm just saying, like, I don't judge people just because they've been to prison, but I agree that there's probably a stigma that those around you are going to have.
That's what I was, thank you. Yeah.
Again, I've been through life-changing events with guys, in groups, and it is terrible to an extent, but there's also bonds and it's your life. Like, you're in combat, but you're out with people, you're doing something versus confinement for a year. I think I would rather take the chance and be out and do that.
I would agree with you. Last one that I have, and this is one I just thought up on as we were recording earlier. Would you rather be on the Joe Rogan show or have him on our show?
I am going to answer this on both a professional and personal level. It's the same answer. I'd rather be on his show.
Okay.
A couple different reasons. First of all, he's not a nurse practitioner or in healthcare, so I don't know. I would still take him as a guest.
Let's be honest. If he called and was like, hey, I want to come on the show, we'd be like, oh, wait, sure.
I know, but what I'm saying is, in my head, I guess I don't know why he would want to, but his show covers a wide variety, and I like his show, and I like talking to him, and I would want him to ask me questions. I'm afraid if I talk to Joe Rogan, all my questions would be the same question, but 50 variants of it, versus this guy would want to learn something from me. Like, that's why he picks primarily the guests he has on the shows, because he's going to learn something. So he finds me interesting enough that he wants to learn something from me. I'm like, wow, I don't know. I think I would rather have that conversation than me be like, dude, that one time on Fear Factor, I saw you. You were so close to those snakes. Like, I don't know what I would say.
Do you remember that? That was awesome. And like the Chris Farley skit. Yeah.
And I think I would get out of that, but I would want to have that conversation that with him that he thinks is going to be good. And also from a professional standpoint, he's got a lot more listeners than we do.
I know that's where yeah.
So when I go out and I say just on podcasts for advanced practitioners every 15 minutes for 3 hours, that's a different ballgame for us. So I think that's what I would pick, though.
This celebrates our 100th episode, Tom. 100 episodes. It's been hell of a ride. Remember, you can check us out. Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, all Just Some Podcast. Website, www.justsomepodcast.com. Email, admin@justsomepodcast.com. Anything you want to say, Tom? Wrapping up 100 episodes.
It has been a great ride. I couldn't imagine doing the show with anybody else. And so I thank you for all the times that we have spent working on this show. And I hope it just continues for another 100 and we just continue to grow.
I wholeheartedly agree. I honestly think this has probably made our friendship stronger. I think we talk more now than we probably did when you lived here.
That's possible.
I mean, and not just while we're recording it, but I mean, texting and everything else. Yes, I mean, I think that's been great that I get to do this with my best friend, and that people want to still listen to it after 100 episodes.
Yeah, that part still weirds me out a little bit. I'm like, there's more people now? Like, I figured it'd be a negative somehow.
People are just turning it off. I don't get it.
Can they take away listeners? Like, I have to get 15 just to get to 0? I don't know.
It's that rewind button. Yeah.
I don't know that I want to get over it, but I still haven't got over the fact that there are a lot of people that listen to us.
Yeah.
So it's a new one.
On that note, dude, obviously thank you to our listeners. Could we do this without you? I mean, we could, but it probably wouldn't be near as fun. And we probably wouldn't have went for 100 episodes if there was still like, how those do you have 3?
Yeah. I'd be like, we could just like FaceTime each other, right?
Right. Like that would just be a lot easier, a lot less work, a lot less money. Yeah.
Yeah.
To our listeners, thank you for getting us to the 100 episode mark. We're going to continue to educate. We're going to continue to entertain, and we're going to continue to occasionally throw weird ass episodes at you, like movie reviews or
answering 100 questions,
answering a bunch of questions, or getting drunk and recording it for some unknown reason.
You never know. If the Christmas spirit is just hitting us in July, then maybe we'll get some killer eggnog and just see what happens.
Eggnog, there you go. So, again, thank you so much for listening to us, continuing to listen to us, continuing to subscribe. Man, wear your masks, wash your hands. Have a great week.
Hey, everybody, stay safe out there.
Practice swearing just to pass the time. Lately, I see why.